Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, it looks like we're live streaming.
Okay. And who is speaking today?
Megan Lyon.
Oh, okay.
She is really good. She's not Sky, but she's very good.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And she's nicer to look at too, I have to admit.
Of course.
No rub against
What's
Sky.
that? You're gonna be labeled an what's an objective, whatever it is. I forget what you call it. When you,
Good
ladies
try.
don't like that. You have to be very careful these days.
That's right.
Do not mention anything physical.
We could get in trouble, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering where everybody is.
I don't know.
I know. Hi, Pete.
Hello there.
We're happy you're here. We were wondering where everybody.
Well, it's a little early yet. We still got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Nice note there.
Yeah. So there's our countdown. We've got 49 seconds to complete any thoughts we have.
Okay. Anything for the good of the order?
Have a nice week.
You too.
Yeah, we did this last week, and let's hope that we don't lose sound again like we did.
Well, that was sad.
That
Yeah,
was indeed. But I think we've got that resolved.
Yeah, people are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys have a great week. If I don't
Yeah,
talk
see
to
you
you
later.
later.
See you later.
Oh, everybody mute, please.
Money from our association, the equipment of Bobby's skills and everything, outside of Woody Holly, which will make Woody Holly possible. Otherwise,
Pete, if you could check your chat, I'd appreciate it.
volunteer his time to Woody Holly, and then it becomes infeasible because we can't afford it.
I don't see anything coming in, Rich.
I'm saying we would not charge.
I'm typing now.
That doesn't mean that it would be free to everyone. We could, give some thought into what if you think it would be better to actually charge a ticket price, or just to say pay what you want. You know, Mira and Chuck sometimes do that. You can do better than do. Because some people will just throw away extra money. Yeah, and most everybody will pay something. So.
Well, the reason because notes.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of nebulous.
Yeah.
But her notes say specifically that the income would come to the council.
Well, it's just.
So I want to be sure that I can put that out.
That's my inclination to do that right now.
Okay. Then the decision is, do we make it you gotta pay, or is it open to everybody?
Yes, that part I haven't come to grips with. So,
Okay.
I kind of like that too. Just so that people can.
That's part of the service. Opening it up to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
As part of the community service.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So if you want to give, fine. So, that's my thought now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cast that in stone.
No, that's helpful.
It's in with the vision.
Yeah. Okay, big boy. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Sure, David.
And again.
Yeah, and don't worry about I mean, we sort of balance each other in those kind of comments, and it takes both. It definitely takes creativity, but it definitely takes she was on the way home. She was saying, you and Bobby Lee got to get this down in writing and do that. And I said, well, we just thought of it 2 hours ago. And she said, well, I know, but my mind just goes there. So you know, and of course, you know, I never want to deal with that stuff, but she's of course, she's right. So,
But you don't need both of us now.
ganging up on me. Yeah, okay.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. We will begin our service with the ringing of the bell. Tegan, would you like to ring the bell? And lighting the Christ candle. It's so good to have a kid in the church to ring the bell. And now we will repeat our opening statement together. It's on the inside of your bulletin here. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our life, God, the good, omnipotent. Let's take just a moment as we become centered in this sacred space this morning and reaffirm that to ourselves. And now let's repeat it together once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is. Our songs this morning will be led by Ron Zoll, accompanied by Jeff Hott. Ron's got some new kicks on there. Oh, they look new.
Yes.
Snazzy.
Just run really fast, stop on a dime, and give you 9 cents change with these things. Yeah. Okay. Would you please stand, and we will sing Surely the Presence, which is right inside your front cover.
Surely Count your many blessings.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. It's so great to see some familiar faces back. Hi, Dewey, there in the back. He hadn't been here for a while. There's, what was your name again? Angela and Brad. They haven't been here for a while. It's good to see you. Anybody else that hadn't been here, and even if you have, it's nice to see you. So our announcements this week, we are nearing completion of the renovation of the mats, and so much thanks goes towards Barbie and Danny and Sally and anybody else that's had a hand in that. We appreciate that so much. Now we're needing help to clean it up, and if you are interested, if you have a few minutes or maybe an hour or so to help over there, just let Barbie know. Her email's right here in the bulletin, and she will schedule you for something to do. The Davis Children's Shelter is collecting luggage and backpacks for the kids as they transition out of the shelter to their forever homes. And we appreciate Dewey again so much for transporting those over to the shelter. He's been a steadfast person to do that for us, and we appreciate it. Sojourner Shelter is collecting new socks, towels, washcloths, and Lysol wipes for the shelter for the month of March. And I understand Danny has been instrumental in helping with washcloths. Pam said he dropped 200 washcloths in the bin the other day. So thanks, Danny and Sandy. Appreciate that. You bought them out. There's more Dollar Trees than one around here. Okay. Maybe you should write corporate. That's great. That's right. Dollar Tree is now a $1.25 treat. I found that out the other day. Everything's went up. Yeah. So let Pam know if you would like to donate those, and she will schedule you a drop-off time for that. We are always accepting donations through the website, unitywv.com, the Facebook link, or PayPal. So we appreciate all you've done to keep the church afloat during these challenging times, which we hope and pray are nearing completion. So we are a tithing church, and we do tithe 10% of everything that we bring in to charities. And in March, the tithe will be going to the West Virginia Child Advocacy Network, who does a fabulous job in advocating for our children. And this Friday, March 11th, is Ron Soul's open mic at 7:30. So if you haven't been to that and you like to play your guitar or sing or anything like that, that's your place to be. It's only $5 if you want to come and watch. And if you want to perform, it's only $2. So that's the cheapest entertainment in town, right? There is a board meeting on Tuesday, the 15th at 5:30 here at the church. Saturday, March 26th, Woody Holly continues with Chris Haddix at 7:30, in the Walker Theater, and tickets are available through the Clay Center website. And also at the end of March, Wednesday, looking forward to March 30th, Barbie will be leading an Unravel group, and this monthly group will be meeting downstairs, and it's a journaling discussion group. I'm not sure if she has all the members for that, all that she's looking for.
She still has a few spots
left, so let her know if you'd like to be involved in that. Also, we did get a lot of stuff today, huh? Lent books are in for Easter, and they are on the table here and in the, you know what that is. My brain, senior brain. So that's all I have, and next we have, not the offering blessing, oh, here it is. The prayer, right? No? Okay, we don't have a prayer. Next, we have the daily word. David's going to read the daily word. I do know that. And it's right here. Thank you.
The daily word for today is glory. The affirmation, my life celebrates the glory of God. Glory fills the world with wonder when I attune my senses to it. I hear it in the sound of waves crashing on a beach and in the resonant harmony of a choir. I see it in sunrises and sunsets, in the beauty of gardens, mountains, and forests, and in the eyes of parents holding their newborn child. I feel glory in the depths of my being at those moments when I understand my life as God's life, living as me. There is no place where my human self ends and the divine presence in me begins. God and I are one. The glory of God is revealed in me as I release the thought that I am only human. God's glory shines through me as the divine presence, the Christ, expressing in my healthy body, my insightful mind, and my loving heart. And the scripture for today is from Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. And it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me.
This is a beautiful song by Karen Drucker. It's not so much a song, really, as it is kind of a mantra, so that has a lot of repetition. So that's your part. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude before me, below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, to the left of me and to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. So grateful, I'm 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 so grateful. 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 Let's all sing it. I'm so
grateful for you guys, sure. And we are also grateful for our wonderful speaker that we have this morning. If you haven't heard Megan Lyon speak, she speaks from the heart, and she's just filled with love and light. And we so appreciate when she does come and fill in for Scott when he's gone. She always imparts a wonderful piece of wisdom that she shares with us. And this morning we're going to hear her take on the right time for gratitude. So please give Megan a warm unity welcome.
Take this off first. Good morning. So grateful to see you all this morning. I thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Unity for allowing me to come and share my thoughts. And that song was so perfect. Thank you, Ron and Jeff. And the daily word just fit right in. So I am grateful. I want to start by sharing a story with you all about something that happened about 10 or 15 years ago when I was still working as a school counselor. And we had just recently purchased this program that some of you have heard of, Heart Math. And it was a program to help students to build some self-regulation tools. And so you plugged it into your computer, and there was a little sensor that the child could put on their finger. And there was on the screen would be this black and white picture of the woods. And then the sensor monitored the child's heart rate, and as their heart rate went down, then things would happen on the screen, like a pop of color would come up, or the waterfall would start flowing, a rabbit would hop in, and then at the very end, a unicorn appeared. So, of course, the kids love this, but I had just gotten this program, and so my friend and I were trying it out just to see how it worked. And just to let you know, we were both dealing with a lot of stress at the time, so it was a pretty stressful period for both of us. And so we sat down and we put the sensor on our finger, and one by one we tried to allow our heart rate to lower. And nothing was happening. Maybe like a little teeny bit of color would come up, and that would be it. And so she was really into yoga at the time, so she was doing her yogic breathing, and I was doing my mindfulness practices, and nothing was happening. I mean, this went on 5 or 6 times that we tried to do this. So her husband, Yusuf, just happened to be there, and he's a pretty laid-back guy, so we thought, we'll have him try it. If it doesn't work for him, this thing is busted. So we asked him to come and join us, and he put the sensor on his finger, he closed his eyes, color started appearing everywhere. The water was flowing, the rabbit hopped in, and boom, the unicorn came up within 30 seconds. So, of course, we were a little upset with him. This was obviously his fault. But also, we realized, okay, this isn't working. Our normal practices just aren't working. So she said, I've got an idea. I'm going to try something. She grabbed the sensor, she put it on her finger, she closed her eyes and just started taking some deep breaths, and I'm watching the screen. And quickly, rather quickly, the color starts to appear. The water starts to flow. The bunny hops in, and boom, here comes the unicorn. And so I'm so excited. I said, oh my gosh, what did you do, Andrea? How did you make this happen? And she said, I closed my eyes and I just pictured everybody in my life that I love. I pictured everything that I'm grateful for, all the goodness, all the experiences I've had, all the experiences I'm planning to have. I just let all of those things flash in front of my eyes. And I could feel my nervous system settling. That was the first time in my life that I ever had the opportunity to actually see with my own eyes the physiological benefits and power of gratitude. In her new book, Atlas of the Heart, which some of you have probably have gotten to enjoy, Brene Brown defines gratitude as an emotion that reflects our deep appreciation for what we value, what brings meaning to our lives, and what makes us feel connected to ourselves and to others. She shares research that proves what I actually got to see that day with my own eyes, that gratitude enhances our well-being in real and tangible ways, that it literally can shift our nervous system. So the reason that I decided to do this talk, a lot of people do gratitude talks at Thanksgiving, and why am I doing this in March? Well, let me tell you a little bit about why I chose to do it now. At the beginning of the year, I decided that through some prayer and meditation, I was really getting the message that I needed to do something different with my gratitude practice. It just didn't have the same impact as it used to have on me. And so I decided to try something. So I got on Facebook and I invited anybody who wanted to join me to join a group called Good Night Gratitude. And so basically it was an opportunity for anybody who wanted to share something at the end of the day that they wanted to say thank you for their day. So just a moment of joy, some sort of beauty in their life, whatever it may be. And fortunately, a lot of people decided to join me, which, by the way, if you're not a part of this group and you want to be, look me up on Facebook and I'll put you in the group. I'd love to have even more people involved. But what happened after about 2 or 3 weeks of this group is that people started posting in the morning and saying, oh, I'm so sorry I'm posting in the morning, but, I'm a morning person, not a night person. Or somebody would post and say, oh, I'm sorry I'm posting in the middle of the day because, it's on my mind and I wanted to share it now. So, of course, I needed to go on the group and clarify. There is no wrong time for gratitude, right? I mean, you don't have to apologize for being grateful. And maybe I need to change the name to good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night gratitude, but that might be a little hard to say. So we made it clear that it's always the right time for gratitude. There's never a wrong time to say thank you. Brene Brown goes on in her book to say, while gratitude is an emotion, if we want to experience its full power, we must also make it a practice. The research has taught me that despite the catchy phrase and attitude of gratitude, gratitude is actually a practice. It's tangible. An attitude is a way of thinking. A practice is a way of doing, trying, failing, and trying again. The research participants that I interviewed described keeping gratitude journals, doing daily gratitude meditations or prayers, creating gratitude art, using gratitude check-ins with their teams at work, etc. In our house, we go around the table at dinner and take turns sharing one gratitude. It's small and it's also big. It gives me a window into the lives of the people I love the most. It's celebrating goodness. And I love that phrase. It's celebrating goodness. So one thing I would invite you to consider is not just to allow gratitude to happen now and then, but to really think of a practice that you can use on a regular basis to help you stay grounded in gratitude. And I've had various practices over the year. For a long time, I did a gratitude walk where I'd take about 10 or 15 minutes at the end of the day and walk up and down my street and just allow myself to think of the things of the day that I'm grateful for. And I've also had gratitude journals, as probably many of you have. I've had a gratitude rock that I kept beside of my bedside table so that I could just, when I would see it, it would remind me to say thank you. And a common one that people use is saying grace. And I'll tell you, that practice just really never connected with me much. I just didn't, it wasn't something that was part of my routine, and so I didn't use that one very often. But that changed when I learned about contemplative eating. So years ago, I learned a practice that's really a combination of mindfulness and gratitude. So the way I learned it was, of course, the mindfulness piece was eating and really noticing the colors, the textures, the flavors of the food, really savoring every bite. But adding to that, the gratitude for that food. And yes, of course, it was the gratitude to the holy that brought all the elements together that put this food in front of me. But it was also going through every single person that brought this food to my plate. So I would start, when I do contemplative eating, I'll start by thinking of the sun, the rain, the soil, the seed, and I'll give gratitude for that. And then I'll give gratitude to the farmer that planted and harvested that seed. I'll send gratitude to the delivery person that picked the food up and carried it to the store, to the people that work in the store, to the cooks and chefs that make the food if I'm eating at a restaurant, or the waiter or waitress that brings it to me. And I remember hearing that contemplative eating would help you eat less because you would appreciate the food more. But that did not happen for me. Actually, when I'm thinking of all the people that brought this to my plate, like, I want to eat every bite of it. It just feels like, how could I waste this? But I do believe when we eat that way, then we see every plate of food as a miracle. In her book, The Color Purple, Alice Walker writes, "I think it irritates God if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. People think pleasing God is all God cares about, but any fool living in the world can see it always trying to please us back." When we stay grounded in gratitude, it helps us to see the miracles all around us in our seemingly ordinary lives, in our plate of food, in the changing sky, in the kindness of strangers, in the color purple and green and blue and pink, and in a million tiny miracles. But what about when life is hard, or there are painful realities of life to face? Right now we know that there is much suffering in the world, especially with the invasion of Ukraine and all the people that are being affected by that, and being 2 years into a global pandemic that still has not let up. So I want to share with you a little bit about a soul collage card that I made called "To Touch Suffering." And for those of you who don't know much about soul collage is a creative and contemplative process of making cards, usually out of magazine images. So they're typically 5x8 cards. And each card that you make represents a part of yourself. So it's the different energies that you carry within you. And so I created this card called "To Touch Suffering." It's a woman who is standing in a forest where there has been a forest fire, and she has her hand on one of the trees that's deeply charred, and she's just looking at the tree and holding her hand on it. And that image really connected to me because I don't feel like I'm supposed to look away from suffering. I believe that even though I want to stay grounded in gratitude, that I am also meant to really see the pain, the struggle, the sorrows of this world. And so sometimes it can feel like a paradox, like how do we hold both of those things? So I'm not suggesting that we use gratitude as a way to gloss over the sorrows of our world, but instead to use it as a way to balance those sorrows and give us strength. The truth is that we live in a world where there are wars and school shootings and racism and hatred and violence of many forms, where friendships end because of vaccine statuses, and where family members stop speaking to each other because of who they voted for, where there are climate emergencies all around us, where there are growing numbers of deaths of despair, which includes suicides and drug overdoses. And all of these things are true about our world. But we also live in a world where there are trees and sunsets and daffodils and puppies and birds and laughter and dancing and hugs and friendship and really, really good food and acts of compassion and people working for peace and justice and so much love. And all of those things are just as true. Where there is much pain and suffering, there is also much tenderness and beauty. I believe that life is not just about suffering, and life is not just about joy. For me, life is about using the strength we receive from the joy, the goodness, and the gratitudes to ease the suffering in our world and in our own lives. Richard Rohr calls this bright sadness, when we hold suffering in one hand and we hold appreciation and gratitude in the other. I want to share a story with you about a time when I experienced that sense of bright sadness. So back in 2014, my mother and I took my dad to UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, to be evaluated for a lung transplant. And so at the time, he had about 10% of his lung capacity left. And we didn't know it at the time, of course, but he had 3 years left to live. So we took him on this very, very grueling week of test after test after test, appointment after appointment, rushing from this end of the hospital to the other, trying to find where to park. It was very grueling for someone who only had 10% capacity of breathing left. And so we went through this, we pushed through it the best we could. It was exhausting. At the end of the week, we met with a pulmonologist who sat down and looked at all of his testing. So he took a look at the tests, he reviewed everything, and then he looked at us with gentleness, and he said, "You know, Guy, you could have a lung transplant. It's possible." He said, "But if you were my dad, I would tell you, no, this isn't a good idea. This is actually going to probably make your life more difficult and may not prolong it at all." Well, that doesn't feel like a choice, right? So we listened to what he had to say, and we left that room feeling defeated after such a challenging week. We got in the car and we were headed home, and there was just a heaviness in the car. We felt like at that point we had run out of options. And so we sat there with the grief of that for about an hour. And after about an hour, one of us said, let's list all the gratitudes of our week. What was good about this week? And so we started sharing about the things that we experienced that were positive or beautiful or good in some way. And I don't know what they do. I don't know what they put something in the coffee at UPMC or what, but the people there were amazing. Every single person we encountered was so kind to us. And so we started saying thank you to the woman who checked us in, who was so friendly and laughed at my dad's jokes, his dad jokes. We said thank you to the valet driver. It was amazing. I mean, he sang to us. He was so joyful. He was so happy. We thanked the doctor for his gentleness, his kindness in delivering some really painful news. And we were grateful for good meals we had and the time we had together in the evenings. So we went through this list of all the beauty of that week, and it completely changed the energy in the room. It felt nothing, or in the car. It was a completely different experience driving home, being able to hold the beauty of that experience, even though it didn't take away the final result. And even though nothing changed, we remembered that there is also so much goodness. I want to share a poem with you that I really feel like brings together this idea, the paradox of suffering and gratitude. It was written by Mark Nepo, which some of you may know that he has written a lot about grief. He had his own cancer journey, and it really got him interested in grief and sharing his own thoughts on that. So I'm going to read you a poem that he wrote called Adrift. Everything is beautiful, and I am so sad. This is how the heart makes a duet of wonder and grief. The light spraying through the lace of the fern is as delicate as the fibers of memory forming their web around the knot in my throat. The breeze makes the birds move from branch to branch, as this ache makes me look for those I've lost in the next room, in the next song, in the laugh of the next stranger. In the very center, under it all, what we have that no one can take away, and all that we've lost face each other. It is there that I'm adrift, feeling punctured by a holiness that exists inside everything. I am so sad, and everything is beautiful. In conclusion, I want to send you this blessing. May you remember that divine presence is always in you, with you, in every circumstance, in all situations. You are always held, and you are always loved. May you tune into the beauty that is all around you. It's just a matter of noticing it. And may you see the holy in everything. Thank you. And I'd like to take some time to do a meditation. And so if you would like to, you can close your eyes if that feels right to you. And allow yourself to sit comfortably in your seat. To close your eyes or soften your gaze if that feels right to you. To notice any tension or tightness in your body, and see if you can just gently release that. Allow yourself to relax into your seat, taking a deep breath into your belly if you'd like, and releasing that breath fully. And again, inhaling deeply and releasing fully. And taking a few more deep breaths if that feels right. Feeling your breath move through your nostrils. Noticing your belly fill up with air. And allowing your breathing to relax, to become more natural. Just noticing it gently. Let's take a little gratitude journey today. An opportunity to bring to mind all the goodness of your life. See it all in your mind's eye. Feel it all in your heart space. Start by imagining the people in your life that enhance your life, that bring you joy and strength. Picture the faces of family, friends, any pets, anyone in your life that brightens your life. Perhaps see them encircling you, cheering for you, wishing for your fruition. Imagine those from your past, maybe who've died or moved on in various ways, who continue to influence who you are today. Perhaps see your ancestors surrounding you, even those you never knew. Thank anyone who comes into your consciousness. Thank you for your great blessings in my life. Picture places you love, places you go, places locked in your memory that bring comfort, warmth, and beauty to your life. Feel the gratitude of each sacred space. Imagine treasured items that you hold dear. Items that are meaningful to you, that bring you joy. Allow appreciation for each item to surface. Bring to mind experiences, activities, anything that brings peace and joy to your life, that gives you strength. From integral parts of your life to tiny moments of joy. Say thank you to each one. And lastly, imagine the divine energy that flows through you and through everyone and everything. See the light of divine flowing through you, encircling you, reminding you that you are always loved, held, supported at all times, in all circumstances. Feel the warmth of that light and love. Just allow yourself to sit in the gratitude of this life with all its challenges and struggles, with all its beauty and goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May your life be filled with beauty and grace. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Megan. That was wonderful. Kind of out there somewhere. The ushers, please come forward. And now let's read from the bulletin, the offering blessing. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
Jesus spoke, entreating them to live together in a great circle of love. And when his followers asked him then who should be included, Jesus said, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Oligarchs and tyrants try to keep some in and everyone else outside, till revolution sweeps across the land and the people all stand and the common folk cry, let everybody in, everybody in, everybody in to the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody in to the circle, circle. Sometimes a circle is a class or a creed. Sometimes a circle is made of only men. Until Susan B. Anthony says, what about me? Let me in. Let everybody in. Let everybody in. Everybody in to the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody in to the circle, circle. Still the circle is a privileged thing, excluding people for the color of their skin, until the voice of Martin Luther King said, let freedom ring, let them in. Everybody in, let everybody in, everybody in to the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody in to the circle, circle. Straight, rich or poor, whole or broken, open up the door. The more we are, the more we become. After all, we are all one. Bring in the people, but don't stop there. Bring in the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. And bring in the rivers wide and the mountains tall. We go together or not at all. Everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, 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 everybody into the circle, circle. Everybody, everybody into the circle, circle.
on, Jeff. That was wonderful. Thank you. It's good. So let's bring our awareness to our heart space. And from that space, we bless these offerings that come to us from divine source. As we give a portion into the community to help bless others, we give and we receive from an open heart, creating a divine flow of love and peace. We're so grateful for this wonderful church, grateful for the wonderful music every Sunday, grateful for the wonderful speakers, grateful for all those that share their time, their talents, their treasures. And so grateful for Unity's message of love, that God loves everyone unconditionally all the time, and that we are all one with our beloved. We say thank you, thank you, thank you for this truth. Amen.
Amen.
And now let's get together in a circle and we'll have.
Wait, we have a birthday.
Oh, birthdays. Okay.
It's, well, it's over. There's somebody on Zoom. Their son, Brett Mullins. Or be Sharon.
Sharon Mullins, son Brett. Right. Okay, let's form our circle and we'll sing happy birthday to Brett. We've been distancing and Sandy. Yay. Scoot apart if you can. We're not holding hands yet, but soon to come. Soon to come.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant